Hey, I'm 6K. I'm currently producing a Robloxcore album for a friend, and as far as I know, I'm one of the only Christian Robloxcore producers within the Christian scene. So I just thought I'd put together a tutorial and show a little bit, how I make a Robloxcore beat. This is gonna work on any DAW, of course, as all music does. I don't really want to go over any of the Fruity Loop specific stuff. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. But I'm just going to show you guys how I cook Roblox core. The first thing you're going to need is an 808. Any 808. I use in a large amount of mine a Spins 808. You can get these from pretty much anywhere on Reddit. If you don't know where, just ask in a Discord or something, people will show you. I generally work in higher BPMs. I'll work as high as 190 sometimes. 175 is like a safe bet for the genre though. Favorite key, C sharp minor. No, C sharp major. Sorry. My favorite key is C sharp major. It's the one I like to sing in, so I just make most of my beats in it. The Roblox core, you're generally gonna find your starting note, probably starting the higher octave, and you just want to come up with something kind of bouncy. Yeah, like just something like that. And then you want to work on a bottom line to go with it. That's going to be back. You can see that I'm just following, like my bottom line is kind of just in a really high octave for an 808, but it's really just like a standard trap 808 pattern type thing. And it's great the way it bounces with the melody. And then I start to add high notes in. And you just kind of want these, it's just a counter melody on top. So all you want to make sure that you're using kind of a different melodic pattern than your midline, which is why where here I was doing the trap pattern with the space in between. Here I was just going every beat. I'm hearing something here. I think that's it. And this might sound, it sounds kind of silly at the moment. However, that's what Roblox core is, right? It's just these bouncy little melodies. They're almost always this sine wave plucky sound, which is why I just use an 808. Some people design them in Serum or other free VSTs as well, but like, I mean, it's so easy to just slap an 808 in there. I see no reason a lot of the time to put a pad or something behind when I have a melody that I like this. However, a lot of the time there's nothing wrong with adding more layers. Today I'm not going to though. We're just going to dive right into the drums. And then after the drums, I'll show you all mixing. Mixing, super easy in Roblox core. First thing you need for drums though, clap. And lots of safe drums, like, Luger clap is great. It'll almost always sound good. You just lay out a standard trap pattern with it. And then this is where you kind of feel it out. The 808 can be so many different things. However, the true Robloxcore 808, the true one, I found it in this kit. I don't know where to tell you to get it. I haven't really found it on Reddit very often, but it's called the 4 a.m. 808. Made by 4 a.m. And it's kind of a defining sound in the genre. And usually, if you're making a 4 a.m. 808 pattern, it goes kind of crazy. Or if you can hear my birds in the background. I want to take that one out actually, because that clashes with the clap. So one of the things I usually do with my 808 patterns, this is just the way I produce, and because of the way I use my DAW, I usually just make the start of the 808 pattern like this, and then after I've arranged the beat and stuff, I'll lengthen out the 808 pattern, because I just find it too difficult and tedious to do that right now. So if you're thinking like, hey, that 808 pattern's cool, but it's repetitive, Robloxcore is okay to be repetitive because the song's usually no longer than 2 minutes long. However, I most likely would do something like, you know, I'll probably loop this and either like octave that up or make a variation or something. I just don't want to do it in my channel rack. That's what you have. And then you decide if you want to kick or not. I like kicks. Personally, I really like kicks. I think kicks, even if your beat doesn't really need a kick, I like having a kick even to bring in for like a repeating hook or something. It can just add so much. So this is something I'll do pretty frequently where I make the kick only hit on the really core 808s and kind of let it breathe on the other ones so it gives that variation. I like that. So that's the 808 and the kick. Again, not mixed. We'll do that all later. Hi-hat. Man, I love doing hi-hats in Robloxcore. I'm going to show you a cheater pattern, a pattern that works pretty much every time in Robloxcore. Although you should mix it up, especially if you're doing more than one song. Like, you don't want every song to sound the same. However, a really safe bet, you open it up, and every first clap, you just take out 2 hats. Oh, sorry. This is just a great way. It gives a certain bounce to the beats. And then, of course, you can come in and feel out, like, you know, if you want rolls, if you want, you know, you can add rolls to it. You could add like that. And then, so once you have your hat, really simple again. And normally I would spend more time on this, but I don't want you guys to have to sit here and watch me fiddle around with a hi-hat beat. Yeah, so you have your hi-hats, and then you move on to perks. Now for me, personally, perks, I use snares, and I just use like, it's not in this kit, the one I usually take like a really generic trap snare. Like something like a golf snare works, a chop snare works. Let's see what I feel like using today. Like chop snare sounds great usually. And you just kind of make a bounce with it. This is the standard bounce, these two hits. And you can loop that. And this is like a very standard trap type of beat, which is why you hear it so much on Robloxcore. And you can add variations to it and stuff. Sometimes I like to add an extra snare in or something even. Maybe not that one though. Ooh, something like that could be cool. It's just about, like, Robloxcore is incredibly bouncy, so you really just have to make that beat bounce. And I feel like the generic trap is great for that. The plucky 808 melody is great for that. And that's essentially the beat. Like, that's essentially going to be what you're going to work from. So you're going to add it to your mixer. Well, I should go over arrangement first, shouldn't I? We're going to arrange it first. So this is a very standard arrangement for Robloxcore. This is based off of, I think this is based off of Threat by Lou. Not that you have to do everything like Threat by Lou, but it's a great Robloxcore song. You start with just your melody for a loop. And then you bring in just the hat and the clap. You kind of cut them off. And then you just bring in the beat. And this is where I love having the kick, right? Because you can take out like the kick there, or even like the accent snare there too. I think if you've listened to a lot of Robloxcore, you might be able to hear how this would fit with the genre. Yeah, so not too complicated at all. We're gonna get into, so that's arrangement. And then from there, you know, like whether you loop it into a verse or if you keep this going, maybe you duplicate the hi-hat pattern and make it something different for the verse. Like there's, if you're used to making beats, you know how to arrange. But yeah, the main thing with Robloxcore arrangement, generally short, to the point, and it's very repetitive usually. Okay, we're gonna mix it now. So for mixing, I start by mixing my melody. And because we used an 808, there's a lot of sub in it. You can see that in my EQ. I pull the sub out. And I kind of dip the high end, or the low end down in general. And then I like to pull up the high end. And because it's not using a VST, because it's not a live instrument or anything, you honestly like don't have to compress it. I like the sound without reverb and stuff. So like usually this is all I do, is I just chuck an EQ on there to kind of clean it up a little bit. Like if you wanted, you could go through and find any frequencies or stuff that you don't want in it, maybe duck them. But like, you know, you're using a Spins 808, so like it sounds good. Clap. And most of these kits, like if you download like a kit off Reddit or something, most of them are balanced kind of to the right place already. So like you'll see that my clap in Fruity Loops, just put in generically, hits at about the -9 dBs, which is where you want your clap. The kick is way too loud because I use a different kick. I find kicks sound really good at about -5, -6. And then 808's usually -6, about. I don't know with this one though, this sounds right to me a little lower. Yeah, probably right about there. I'm a fan of quiet hi-hats. You don't have to do what I do. Lots of people like loud hi-hats. I almost always turn my hi-hats down. I don't like my accent snares to be too loud. And especially like the second accent snare, probably even quieter. They're just there to add movement. They're not there to really like control the beat. So those are how you mix your different elements. And then obviously if you have more elements, you have to mix those. And then personally, I like to record on my beat and then do a final mix. However, if you're sending the beat to somebody, or if you like to export before you record or whatever, this is how I usually do it. And this is how you get a really hyper pop kind of distorted sound. You kind of compress it and you just play with the ratio and the threshold until you can really feel that the beat is being compressed. And you turn up the gain. I usually like to, kind of want it to clip a little bit. And then a soft clipper. And you want the threshold all the way down on the soft clipper. Don't ask me much about soft clippers. I don't know enough to give an in-depth thing. This is going to be your saturation. So you want to turn your saturation down to about 2.5 dBs. And the limiter, you turn the ceiling off. It's more so being used to monitor the loudness. And you turn up your post on the soft clipper. And you just like let that hit the saturation. And that's where you kind of get that dirty sound every time the kick and the 808 hit. And this sounds really good if you do it with the vocals on it, because you kind of get that compression sound when the vocals hit when the kick hits. And there you go, you've got a Robloxcore beat as far as I'm concerned. Let's listen to it real quick, just to make sure. Yep, I'm happy with that. So the next step, and this is where your own production taste and style and stuff comes in, is adding sound effects, transitions. If you want to add in cuts, if you want to do more variations of things, that's all up to you. I'm not going to tell you how to do that. That's not really a Robloxcore thing as much as it is a do whatever you want, have fun with a thing. But anyways, that's how I produce Robloxcore. And I don't think that I have anything else to say. If you want a tutorial on how to like mix Robloxcore vocals and do Robloxcore vocals and stuff like that, I'd be happy to do that as well if people are interested. But that's about as much as I'm feeling like I'm ready to show today.